As was written before time, that which comes after arms and before chest. I think we all know what today is supposed to be. And, assuming you can read, then I kind of spoiled it for you. Maybe I think about titling some of these days just like bench PR, or like some kind of, or like, oh, Sam does the Rich Piana 24, but it's really just it's like just clickbait to get you to watch a late day video. I wouldn't do that. Come on, I wouldn't stoop that low, unless it was, well, I guess if it was a joke, then I would. But either way, but plan for legs. I want to go crazy on quads in a controlled manner, right? I mean, we've all seen the videos of guys squatting, or doing any kind of real heavy. It could be anything, just any heavy movement, and something in their system ended up being the weak link in the chain. Injury, boom, right? And it's not like you're throwing a football around, or you swing a golf club at a golf simulator for the first time in a while, and like you tweak your tricep a little bit because you started swinging the driver without warming up. And that's actually a little bit of a true story for me. Like when you're squatting, assuming you've got some serious weight on the bar, I mean, even when I'm like fully fresh and I've had lifts of like heavy squat, like back to back, and I'm very like maybe just confident in my ability to squat that weight, even in my most like confident state, safety racks, dude, I don't know if it's because these guys are just comfortable with like bailing, but out of everything, I mean, I would say well, I guess this might be open to discussion. What do you think's riskier in the incident of like some shit actually went wrong, right? Benching without a spotter or squatting without a spotter? Because honestly, I'd probably say squatting. If you fail a bench, maybe you might know you were going to fail. You don't clip the weight, then you just flip it side to side. Yeah, that shit ain't happening with a squat. No. Oh, excuse me. But obviously, dumping a squat behind you, not the riskiest move ever. But in the unfortunate event that someone were to be squatting and then the weight gets in front of their center of mass, that's where problems will begin to arise. We've all seen those. So I guess all I'm trying to say is, if you're really going to push the weight, I don't see the appeal of no safety racks. I wish, well, I mean, I guess that would kind of prevent any kind of whatever. But it's kind of nerve-wracking. Like, I'll see videos that I just watched a video of a guy do 7 plates for 10. I kind of wish I remembered his name. I'm just like scrolling Instagram. But no safeties. It's some crazy shit, man. Yeah, that's nuts. But apart from that, I want to go as heavy as I can really just as heavy as I can. That's the end of that statement. So what I mean by that is I don't want to just walk up to the squat rack with the mentality of, okay, I've done 6 plates before for a couple of reps. I could probably do it again today. Out of nowhere, right? It's like, don't forget, your state of being as a lifter is going to change, albeit gradually over time. And especially if you haven't really loaded a ton of weight before, and then out of nowhere you just go for something wild, usually that's cause for concern. Easier way into it. Sure, the reason you're not going to see a power lifter, pull his shit in competition is because he's used to that much tension all the time, right? He's built up he's just adapted to it, That's his training. That's what he's used to. So if you're, more of a bodybuilder character, and somebody, excuse me, somebody challenges you to a squat off or something, 1 rep max. Maybe just think back to this little discussion and say, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I don't need to explode my ACLs at once and set myself back however many years or months, depending on how quick you can recover, right? I used to say. But all that said, hamstrings will be a little bit more, a little bit quicker, right? I mean, I'll probably just do honestly, I might even just do like 4 sets of leg curls, and make today a quad focused day. Because if I do, no, I'm so sorry. I woke up from a nap before I got in the car. I'm not exactly caffeinated yet, but yeah. So if I end up doing some even moderately heavy leg press, I will get a reasonable amount of hamstring activation. But I still want to warm them up with a few sets and kind of pump them up, not only for my hamstring's sake, but also just feels better. I mean, if you've ever, let's say you're an avid squatter, right? Like you're squatting on the regular, you can rep 315 for a couple. Maybe you're only at 275, whatever. I'm not here to dog you. I remember when I almost smushed myself when I was in my parents' basement gym trying to do a 1 rep max, and 200 pounds did not come back up. And luckily I did have little scrappy safeties on those squat stands. But shit, what the hell was I about to say? Oh yeah, but if you've never squatted after hamstrings, plus having a bit of a quad pump from doing some leg extensions first, then I really do think you're missing out. So that's kind of the plan for me. Hams first, followed by a little leg extensions, and then the real nasty part of quads will begin. Potentially Smith squats, potentially big, big heavy pendulum leg press, pendulum hip press kind of contraption. Some machine leg press, maybe some hacks. We'll have to see. I'd say play it by ear, but it might make more sense to say play it by quads. So I think no more talking. Let's just go in there and make it happen. Straight to business. Now, of course, I've warmed up. I've gotten myself sort of used to it, but let's start with a nasty set of the stack. So the last couple lifts I've been starting with like light single leg, 5 reps on either side with like a 1 second hold of each. What is a good set? I mean, that's like I feel like that's like the rope, like I'm doing a rope extension, right? I don't want to just whip it around. I want to really squeeze it and feel it. But I also like doing like a straight bar push down with a lot of weight and really moving that shit around. So this is a little bit more of that style. But as long as you kill it, I mean, that's kind of what we're aiming for. Oh shit. Oh man. A few more of those, I think. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay. One more heavy, nasty one. And then let's drop the weight. And the next set will be completely opposite. Lighter, squeezing, slow, and controlled. Oh my goodness. Whew. Yeah, holy shit. All right. So that was the stack at 190. Let's drop it to just 50 for the single leg sets. So half the weight. But yeah, you can imagine that as like a nasty set of dirty rows. And then this next one will be a controlled set of squeezing pullovers. But I don't think either one is particularly special. But in combination, right? I mean, this is like the sweet and sour in your orange chicken. It's just perfect. this will be good. So right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, 5 sets each, or 5 reps each. And I really want to have a moment of like at the top. That's the fancy part of this set. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, let's do some leg extensions. Let's start here. So when I do these leg extensions first, like I warm up, you know, like I did 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 70, like I ease into it. But I would still categorize this as a little bit of a warm up. Like this is a working set. Like I want to push it as hard as I can, like, you know, actually like hit failure. Maybe, well, I can't really do self-assisted reps on this machine. There's no handle, but like I want to kill it. But these 2 sets, or these maybe 3 sets, are definitely working as like a primer before I move on to like that seated leg press or the hack or that one in the other room. Because I mean, like I'm not joking. Pressing with a quad pump already, if you've never done it, game changer. Or maybe you won't like it at all. But for me, at least, I like it. So let me, all right, come on. I go a little heavier. But this will be left leg total failure, followed by right leg total failure. Okay, actually one more notch. Come on. There we go. Oh, crap. Yes. One more notch heavier. And my right leg's a little stronger. So that was more like real failure on the left, but I kind of pulled it for the right. So this one can catch up, you know, get some more muscular symmetry up in this mofo. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. Because it's like, hey man, if you go gamble, you might win $1 million.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had my girlfriend won $200,000 one night.
Yeah.
In her life, she couldn't be gambling addict like that.
Right?
And like, it's almost worse.
That.
The what you do.
Yeah.
Like, No,
No, you're good.
You fight them for it.
All right, one more. A little heavier. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh my God. I have missed this freaking machine. 8 big ones, and there's not much to it. Strap in, hold on tight, and go crazy. So that's my plan. If I can pair it with a good song. 20 reps would be nice. Oh, overestimated my strength. Oh, this 7. That was good though. I actually dropped it 2 plates for this one. Oh yeah, this will be 20. Okay. Holy crap. Oh man, that first set hit me hard. Let's move on. Let's go do a different leg press. Oh my God. That was really good though. Oh. That pendulum leg press hit me harder than expected. So backing off in a weight with this machine should be cool. And this is kind of a fancy machine because it's got a strength curve to it. It's lighter at the bottom and it gets heavier at the top. So you're never really going to get stuck in the hole. Well, actually, well, you still will, but it's just kind of a fancy feeling when you do it. Okay. I think just one more set of leg extensions into sissy squats. Well, we'll see. But I think just one more squeezing set of leg extensions will do me good. Holy crap. I'm not going to say I should have gotten lighter on that first heavy set, but maybe I should have. Either way, no, my quads are freaking destroyed. And my hamstrings are getting a beating too from all the leg pressing. Yeah, I was not joking. My hamstrings were getting freaking wrecked from those heavy leg presses in there. I'm gonna feel them tomorrow. But until then, I think this will be it. Double leg, slow squeezing for like, I don't know, 10 or 15. Because I want like a full hold at the top. Like a 1 second, down slow. And then once I can't really hold it anymore, I'm gonna do a complete transition from controlled squeezing to pumping out, getting as much blood in here as possible. And I think that'll be it. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's enough. Oh crap. Okay. I just walked over here from that last set, so don't mind the huffing. But that was a good day. I might have pushed it a little too hard, weight-wise. And by push it too hard, I just mean I went too heavy, just objectively. But I'm cool with it. Because now I'm exposed to that 8-plate set. So when I come back next leg day, I will have recovered and over-recovered, having exposed myself to that weight. And it'll be even easier. Like, don't forget, you know, we're always talking about recovery. You need to fucking stimulate your muscle enough so that it actually has to recover, right? I think the argument of like easing up in the gym to prioritize recovery is almost, you skipped a step, right? Do your damage first and then recover. Now, if you might be overdoing it, volume-wise or, you know, any other sort of way, then I think it's going to warrant looking at your routine. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Maybe your calorie intake sucks, right? Whatever it may be. Maybe you're only drinking 1 liter of water a day. But, you know, don't just jump to the conclusion that you need to train easier. You know, in no way do I think easing up on your training effort is going to correlate to better performance. You know, I think keep your intensity as high as you can get it, gym-wise, and then try to match that with your recovery. If your recovery is scrappy, don't take your training down to a level that scrappy recovery can kind of work with. You know what I'm saying? But just a little piece of intel from Mr. Sammy Boy. But I'm done, and I'm freaking tired. Let's get out of here. There we go. Yeah, so I think I'm getting onto something with that little recovery sort of chat at the end of this leg day. Because yeah, obviously if you kill it and you really do some what I would consider like positive muscular damage, then yeah, man, you're gonna have to recover from that. It's just the nature of your training. But the logic of trying to improve your recovery by reducing the damage that you do in the gym, I just don't necessarily see it, right? I mean, that's like that's like you're trying to improve the test grades of your school. Let's say you're like an elementary school superintendent. So instead of, having a better curriculum, you just make the tests easier, so that everybody's suddenly getting 100% on these exams. It's like, in a way, you achieve the goal you're aiming for, but only on paper, right? Like in reality, I think you're really cutting some of your intensity short. You know what I'm saying? So all that's to say is, I wouldn't freak too bad, and it's like, it doesn't even take that long to acclimate. Like, of course, it's going to take a minute to get used to crazy training. Let's say, maybe you've been training at like a baseline level of intensity for a little while, or like me, I just went however many months dieting down. The training intensity, like the weight, some of the volume had decreased. I wasn't really in the cards for the training that I was doing. So now got more food in my system. All right, let's up it. Right, let's blow it out of the water with these gym sessions, and it's going to take a little bit to get used to. From even the last week, or actually the last 2 weeks, probably going forward, honestly, for the next few months, the gym intensity should gradually increase at a pretty steady rate, because I'm going to get stronger, get more food in my system, physically just get bigger, kind of, get some sort of neural adaptations to like how much weight I'm even lifting. Right, so all I'm getting at is, like, the harder you push it, the easier it's going to be to push it in the future, right? So, imagine you're trying to, what's a good example here? Right? It's like running. Let's say you're a hybrid athlete. Maybe you can run 1 mile, or maybe you're like me, you probably couldn't even run 1 mile. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe if you put me in some vapor flies to take some pressure off my knees, it might help me. But whatever. Let's say somebody can't run a mile, and they work up to it. Holy crap! You just ran a whole mile. You just had a 7-minute mile or something. I don't know. Do you think it's going to be easier or more difficult now to run 1.5 miles than it was before? Obviously easier, right? The more you do it, the better you get at it, the harder you can go at it, and now your baseline level of intensity increases. So that's I think that's something that I think about just enough, but that maybe kind of doesn't cross people's minds as much as maybe I would hope it would, because you make a certain amount of gains. All right, what I've been doing has been working. If I continue to do exactly what I've been doing, then I will continue to make the exact amount of gains. Is that a flawed mentality? No, that's an in and out, right? That's a basic ass freaking experiment. But the human mind isn't really made to calculate things in an exponential kind of way, right? Imagine you're looking at like a pond, this is definitely a reference to what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson. I can almost guarantee this is what he said. But let's say you got a pond, it's got a ton of algae on it, or it's got a little ball of algae. If the next day it had twice as much algae, would you expect it to now, have 3 times as much algae that next day and continue like a linear trend? Or would you expect it to be completely full of algae the 3rd day, right? We're used to kind of regular sort of trends. What goes in must come out kind of logic. So if you get caught in that mental trap of, all right, if I go this hard, I'm going to keep making gains, and suddenly the keep making gains part ceases, right? You're no longer progressing how you wanted to, then it's not so likely that you might think, okay, my training and my sort of routine is off. I need to make some changes here, right? Because doing the same thing and expecting different results, you're legitimately insane. Actually, I think by definition you're insane. So more often than not, dude, I'm at my genetic limit. You know, I'm at my, like, really? You got your genetic limit after a year and a half? Not so sure. I'm not completely moved by that sort of statement, right? Or, you know, it's this or it's that or it's whatever. When, you know, in reality, I don't like the saying locked in is a little I don't know, we've been saying it forever. It's kind of getting a little old to me, but I think it's true. If you were to lock in a little harder, actually kind of put some more effort into your diet, put some more effort into your recovery, drink more than a damn liter of water a day, and then maybe go about your training a little bit better, in the sense of like just making sure it's intense, consistent, and manageable, which means, and by manageable I mean you can do it week after week after week after week. I mean, if somebody put me on like a crazy high, well, I know I probably wouldn't even do it, but if somebody gave me like a really weird routine and like it was, you know, they were convinced like this is the best method for muscle growth, but the training, I just couldn't even, like, it didn't click with me, or I didn't like it, or anything else like that, what are the odds that I'm going to keep doing it in perpetuity and continue to push it hard and really kind of want to like improve it and, you know, really put my whole effort into it? It's low, you know? So that's why I kind of like the logic of trying to sort of cater my training not only to what I think is going to work for me, but also what I enjoy, because that enjoyment factor is much more powerful than you might think. You know, if you come to the gym with a workout and your approach to it is, oh shit, I've got to do blank, I've got to do sets of this, I've got to do lateral raises, oh man, I've got to whatever, my coach wrote out that I have to do, that's going to be a chore. And how do we treat chores, right? We freaking hate them. You know, you do them to the minimum necessity, and then it's like, okay, it's done, perfect, whatever, move on. But with something you're excited to do, you know how much better you're going to do it and how much effort you're going to put into it. Plus, if you actually enjoy doing it, it's not work. It's an activity that you get to have fun with, you know? So that's where, you know, following a regular kind of cookie cutter plan might not really work for everybody, simply because not everybody fits that exact kind of, you know, little formula, right? So, I mean, if you love upper, lower, rest, repeat, shit, man, if that's what you like, you're really pushing, you're killing it, and you're making consistent gains, who is anybody to tell you that you're doing it wrong? You know, it's only when those gains begin to cease that you might want to take a step back and, you know, maybe think, all right, what should I change here? Am I doing too much? Am I doing too whatever? You know, whatever. But as long as you're in the green gains wise, let's say you're showing earnings, right? Dude, the goal that you're working for is being achieved, right? So only once that begins to slow down or halt do I think you really need to think about any kind of overhaul with your training. But, you know, if you kind of condense all that logic into just a short form statement, actually, let me think, how can I go about it? Yeah, shit, man, go hard, go home, and go a lot. That's what I made the title of the last video. I stand by that 100%, you know. But yeah, getting back into my own training, not just like general kind of talk. I definitely overdid it with that leg press. Like I kind of forgot just how much hamstring activation that deep kind of pendulum hip press actually gives me, to the point where my left hamstring, like, they both feel tight, like they both definitely got some kind of real activation, but the left one especially, I mean, I don't have a pull or anything like that, but I could definitely feel a little twinge of overdoing it. So I kind of I didn't listen to my own advice in terms of easing back into that heavier kind of weight. But it's not to the point of you know, where I've got to say, oh shit, no more hamstrings for a few weeks. But it's enough where, you know, I'll be cautious as I go forward with legs. But, you know, part of that is just kind of going to happen, right? I mean, I feel as though if you're too cautious with your training, and you know, maybe back off your intensity out of concern for like, oh man, what if I hurt myself? You know, what if this, what if that, what if whatever, then, you know, I think you may be limiting yourself just a touch, right? Because to an extent, when you're working out, when you're doing anything physically active, there's always random inherent risk of injury. I mean, who's to say you're not doing a set of squats and suddenly you get the damn, suddenly you sneeze like a friggin' beast and then it throws your balance off or something, right? You never know. You know, that's like not wanting to go outside because you think a meteor might land on you. It's like, oh, it could happen. You know, meteors land there's meteors coming through the atmosphere right now. It's just most of them get burned up because they're too small. But we're like, oh, it's raining out. Don't want to go outside today. Might get struck by lightning, you know. So, what I'm trying to get at there is like, if you're reasonably smart with your training, you can push it pretty damn hard. You know, you're not that fragile. The human body has been evolved, in a sense, kind of designed in a way to be able to handle a pretty serious amount of shit. To put it very bluntly, you know. So if that's the case, why freak? Right? Obviously, you can handle some stuff, and in a little bit more of like a anecdotal kind of approach, guys go out and kill it all the freaking time, you know. And I'm not even talking like crazy 300-pound bodybuilder dudes. I'm saying there's an 800. There's a 180-pounder out there somewhere who, you know, high school dude, probably, you know, early, maybe 1 year, 2 year lifting, and he probably had a relative to himself more intense leg day than I just had, right? I don't like to say that because obviously I want to be pushing it as hard as anybody, but there's nothing stopping you, right? There's only one person stopping you. You know who it is, right? We all do. We're getting reflective here. It's you. Now, maybe it's not you. Maybe you were actually killing it, but, you know, in a general sense, you know, you're the only one kind of holding yourself back. I mean, we've got a pretty good ability to impact our surroundings to the point where I don't think there's any, you know, maybe you could say like metaphysical, unmovable object, at least in our kind of day-to-day life, right? There's no bar that's completely uncrossable, and you got a pretty good amount of time, you can make some pretty serious shit happen. But it's more so kind of up to you and what you're willing to do versus, you know, what kind of you know, obstacles you might perceive that you have, right? Because I mean, there's guys out there where they may as well be a freaking professional excuse maker. Oh, well, you know, I can't do any legs. It's like my knee is, you know, I got that thing with my knee. Oh, you want to squat today? You know, I got that thing with my back. Oh, what do you mean I didn't go to failure on that first set? Obviously, I'm gonna go easy on the first one. We've got so many other sets to do today, man. Dude, I'm not gonna take them all to failure. What are you doing? That's crazy. I gotta conserve my energy, or just, you know, anything under the sun. Right? It's the easiest thing in the world to say, oh, you know, the reason I didn't do this was because of, you know, insert 1 million things, right? So, what do you think is a better situation? Maybe owning it, or just trying to deflect it onto something else, right? But that's more of a up to you kind of statement. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to own it, right? If I totally bomb and like break something or like do something stupid, it's my fault 100%. And if you own it, then if you ever do anything cool, right, odds are you're not going to blame it on anything else. You get to say, oh shit, I made some shit happen, you know? But the taking responsibility for your own stuff, it's got that risk of, you know, if you maybe don't do exactly as well as you wanted, then there's nobody else to blame but you. But that's kind of just that's the nature of things, right? If you're afraid to fail in any capacity, then what that really means is you're just afraid to start, right? But now we're just getting into basic mumbo jumbo motivational talk. Sometimes it gets a little too cliche, but I really do think that this kind of stuff is cool to listen to. Like, I'll put you onto a little something. You got to be in the mode. Like, you've got to be in kind of like a self-improvement kind of mindset for this to really like kick in. Like, you got to be in like, oh, I want to lock in. All right, let's put this on. But there's a YouTube channel. It's called Grave Mind. It's full of like some kind of, you know, thought process sort of motivational snippets of a lot of different kind of books and authors and everything. It's crap. What's the word? I forget the title, but honestly, they're all pretty cool. He's been posting these for freaking years, and every so often I tune in. I think it's good for my mentality. But don't forget, there's no reason to overcomplicate this stuff too bad, right? Go nuts, have fun with it, and as long as you're making gains, just keep that momentum going. So I'm gonna sleep like a baby, I guarantee it. And then I've got chess tomorrow, so I'll see you for that. And I'm already getting excited for it.